Oh, I didn't do my... Oh, I didn't do the... da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, stop it! Well, here we go. Is that you, Rob? Oh, who's that? Oh, I'm not... Don't fuss with the screen. All right, I'll just da 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 da. Yes, nothing but quality. Well, it's post-it note shoved across the thing. Whoa, 38, 43. Jesus, people, it's amazing. I thought I was going to see 3 people. Well, there you go. Top stuff. How are we going? Are we all good? Bit of an impromptu chat because I just realised I had a little bit of time up my sleeve. I shouldn't actually even be where I am. Shh. Shh. Don't tell anyone. Anyway, yes, some people would have thought I was sailing to to Trinidad and Tobago. Already. Well, that was my intention, but what do you say in the last moment? You know, when something happens at the last moment? In the last moment, I got word from Precision Sales that my sale was ready. I mean, it would have been great if this happened 2 weeks ago, and then I could have already had it on the boat, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers, and I'm not whinging at all. I'm just happy it's come through. It's taken a while, but you know, this COVID rubbish has caused all sorts of problems with all sorts of sailing companies. I mean, so good on your Precision. Thank you very much. The plan has changed. So I'm not going to Trinidad and Tobago straight away. I have to go to San Andreas because the good Captain Rick Moore, check out his channel if you haven't seen him before. Very nice bloke. He's let me use his postal account. He's just so helpful. I said, hey, Rick, got a problem. He goes, I'll help you solve it. How good's that? Captain Rick Moore. Good on you, buddy. And so he's going to receive the sale, and I'll pick it up in San Andreas. It's only a 2-day sail to San Andreas. Well, it took me 3.5 days, I think, to sail back from San Andreas. Remember all the dramas we had? Autopilot, and then just not sleeping for like 2 days. It was crazy. But getting there should be all right because we still got the trades, even though they're diminishing at the moment. So I've sailed actually quite east from my checkout point, so it should be not so bad. I'm doing that because I think the jib that I'm going to rely on, because I'm replacing my jib, Precision is replacing my jib, there's a good potential it'll just blow out again. It won't blow out at the top. Remember, I bolted it at the top, but it's got problems all over it. But I've got the staysail, so worst comes to worst, I'll just sail with the main and the staysail, which is probably what I'm going to do well, it depends. Well, there's a couple of strategies. I don't want to go through it. Let's go Turdo. That's a bit harsh. Who wrote that? Here, let's have a look at who's here. Tiger Shark got a snorkeler. Where? In Australia? Where are the girls? Yeah, the girls have gone. Greetings from Finland. Whoa, Finland! What time is it in Finland? You know, I am 1/16 Finnish. Did you know that? Finland? What was your name? Bammoose? Bamsey? Anyway, Finland, I'm 1/16 Finnish. Maybe that's why we have such good rapport. But I can't speak Finnish to save my life. I don't think anyone can. I mean, it's a very difficult language. It's like right out of there. But anyway, so where did the Tiger Shark get the snorkeler? Oh, hello, Trip. Yo, yo, yo. James says get to Cuba. Yeah. Well, we've got issues, people. Always issues. I thought we'd have a chat. Just to people that come on board. I can't believe we're over 100. My goodness, people, you got rocks in your head if you want to watch me on a Sunday evening. But anyway, I think a prerequisite to watch my channel is you have rocks in your head. So I shouldn't be knocking that on the head, because if I knock that on the head, well, I might break some rocks. You don't want broken rocks in your head. So apart from breaking the rocks that are rocks in your head, I don't want to break that prerequisite, because it's probably 3/4 of my audience. Anyway, but I mean that in the highest possible way of looking at it, because who wants to be normal in today's age? So when I say you got rocks in your head, you're just not normal, which is a good thing. Keep up not being normal. Only not normal people watch my channel. All the normal people criticize it. I had this, I don't know, I had this doctor. I know he was a doctor because he put MD on his comments. And I think he likes the channel. But he really gave it to me. He said, I can't remember his name. I should remember his name. He really gave it to me. He gave a good solid paragraph about this long, saying, rah, 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 you don't do this and you don't do this and how dare you. And this was me, well, amongst other things, me collecting water from upstream in the river. And he was saying, you got to do this, you got to chlorinate it, you got to do this and you got to do that. Well, I come from Australia, and our water tanks are full of dead rats, cockroaches, sometimes a dead pigeon, crow, and we seem to survive. I think there's something said. I know there's things in the river and there's poisonous things, but it rains in the mountains every night, right? This is flushing water continually out, and I'm collecting the water. It's as clean as can be. Of course, it's got a little bit of minerals in it, but far out. I mean, there's no industry here at all, so what's the harm in it? Anyway, so I got no problems with the drinking water. I never got sick with respect to that. I got food poisoning once in Mexico when I started sailing, and I've never had it again. So, I don't know. But I'm not going to go... I'm not going to worry about water like that. I'm not going to be fearful. Do we want to have another discussion about fear? Remember, if I became president of the world, I'd ban everyone being upon fear of death. So they have to have a little bit of fear for me to ban, but they still need the fear for fear of death, so they'd obey me, right? If you can work that argument out, you'd make a very good lawyer. So what are we here to discuss? I thought we'd have a bit of a discussion, and I need your help. Need some advice, because the channel is tanking, as we knew it would. General tanking. Was it this way? I mean, it's not over Red Rover yet, but remember when we had Margarita on board and it was lovely and she was very beautiful? There wasn't that much conversation. I think because it was very difficult for Margarita to be on the boat and being seasick all the time. I mean, I don't think if you're not seasick and you can't really see it from her point of view. So it was very difficult for her. And yeah, got to admire her spirit to keep up with it. But I think the conversation was certainly lacking. But now we've gone full circle to the other side, where I thought, if I can show, because people were making comments when I was doing these action videos of Margarita, because it's basically just full on us doing stuff all the time. So it was more action orientated, which is very difficult editing to do because it takes a stupendous amount of time. It's the worst time consumer you can have. And so videos were taking, well, they weren't taking 50 or 60 hours, they were taking longer. So we did I changed it because people were saying, oh, I want to see what living on a boat is like, and what are you like? What are the crew like? And so with Lisa, we changed the style. So I wanted to know, but I think we've gone too much over onto that side. But we're sort of stuck with, see, I just need more editors because I've got some very good ideas on what to get a balance in everything. You have an overall storyline, of journey from A to B. Then you have the nitty gritty stuff. But you can't have one editor doing everything because it's just overwhelming. And basically, trust me, because I'm doing it at the moment and I'm literally overwhelmed. I mean, I'm making mistakes left, right, and centre. So I'm needing more editors. To have more editors, I need more people on the boat. I've got no people on the boat. So it's a bit of a bugger. So what I was wanting to ask you is, how do you feel about the change in video? Or give me some advice. Tell me, what do you want? Now, let me just put a, what do you call it? A condition on it. Clearly you want more sailing and more sailing to destinations. But just looking at it in context, we had the exile where we couldn't go anywhere. So we did sail. Hey, we probably sailed, with the exception of maybe a couple of boats in the Pacific, we sailed almost 1,000 miles during the COVID when it was locked down the big time. So we were actually sailing then, but we couldn't go anywhere. Well, to places that you would like to go. We were just on little reefs. So, and then I buggered up I got COVID. Then I broke the furler. Then I couldn't afford another furler, and so I was waiting for a furler. And I got some sponsorship with Facnor on that. And then the sale went, and so we're waiting for a sale for more than a year. And so I haven't really been able to go anywhere. And if you understand anything about sailing, is we're in the arsehole end of the Caribbean. Now, I'm not saying that Panama is the the bad place. It's just that where all the winds are pushing you towards. It's here and Guatemala and Belize. So the trade winds are pushing you from east to west. So when you're stuck in the corner and you've got east nor'easters, it's very difficult to penetrate out, and you do need to sail. You can't motor, and besides, you all know that my motor is an auxiliary motor, and it barely... In absolute calm conditions, I can do 4 knots. All right? As soon as there's a breeze, it drops to 2.7 in no time. So I've been stuck with that. So obviously, if I'm saying, oh, what would you want to see more? Obviously, you're going to say sailing. Well, hopefully I'm going to do some more sailing now when I get to sail. And I'll hopefully get over to Trinidad, Tobago, and then run up the eastern chain and climb some volcanoes and get some crew out there. Hopefully I can get some crew. Currently, I don't have any crew. So there you go. There's another 10% patrons gone overnight, and the viewership is probably going to drop another, 40% probably. But anyway, you've got to be honest. I'm not gonna be dishonest on this channel. So, what do you think of the Margarita style videos, and what do you think of the Lisa and Gigi and Clara type videos? They're different types. One's more conversational. You get to see the crew, and you get to see them evolve and turn into quite competent crew, and it's great to actually see. And I enjoy it because you see it through the eyes of new crew when their eyes light up when the boat leans over and they're sailing and they're actually steering themselves, because you revisit your first days of sailing through their eyes, and it's quite enjoyable, and I guess it's enjoyable for you guys too. But I think, as I said, I think I went too far. So tell me your opinion. Oh, I haven't... Jesus. Oh, sorry. You've probably been giving you your opinion, and I haven't been seeing it. Sorry, guys. I don't know why this turns off. I'm so retarded when it comes to... All right. Let's have a look at this. Thank you for the great content. Okay, no worries, Ron. Come to Ibiza in the summer. Oh, you're crewing with James. Yeah, but it's just going to be party. And I need to get myself sorted. I need to get the vlog back actually, generating interest, because it's not actually in the moment. It's we're going to be tanking soon, people. Yeah, I do need sails. Hi from North. Oh, the shark was in San Andreas. There's a tiger shark. Well, hopefully I'll get to meet it. If it goes for me, well, there you go. One less YouTuber. You're welcome, people. You should actually buy that shark a wreath, or a present, or a toothbrush. Wow, shark. Thanks, Trip. Shark was in San Andreas. Okay, let me just say, any advice? So anyone, what do we got here? Okay, good day. Okay. What do we got? Sorry, people. Yeah, I've spoken to James about Crane. Oh, can I tell the story of me stuck on an island and I ate too many lobsters? Uh, yeah. Um, who wants to hear that story? Yeah, I think I ate 33 lobsters in 2 weeks, but then I didn't eat any more lobsters. Yeah, I got stuck on an island. There's an there's an island off. Where did we catch it from? That's right, we got it off. No, it wasn't. I was going to say Townsville, people. Jeez, I'm forgetting my Australian country towns. Um, what is it? I just forgot it again. Just north of Bundaberg. What's that town? Happy Rock, Gladstone. There you go. I could remember Happy Rock. We call it Happy Rock. Yeah. So this is quite a while ago. This is when there used to be a tourist operator that would take you out to the island. But what we didn't know, we thought they just went out to the island. I think it was 2 times a week, or maybe it was 3 times a week, or whenever they had a lot of people buying tickets to take them out. And they used to take them out, and people would, snorkel. And we, instead of getting a ride with fishermen, we just put our gear on that because it only goes out. It only took about 2 hours or something. And if you go by fishermen, it takes like 8 to 10 hours. And so we took all our gear over and got dropped off on the island. But what we didn't know is easy to get to the island because it was holiday season and there were people wanting to go on the boat. But they forgot about us. So this legitimate company, it's a huge catamaran. They've currently since gone bust. Well, not through us. I mean, I didn't kick up a stink, but they literally forgot about us. They were supposed to pick us up on a certain date, and they didn't come. Now, they didn't come. Well, I think they definitely forgot about us because they ought to have sent out another boat, but they didn't. I think they just expected to be getting people coming out to the island, and they would have just picked us up on the way back, and that would have been it. But there was no one filling the boat, and so they didn't come to pick us up. So we were there for quite a while. I think it was 4 weeks. We were only supposed to be there for 12 days. Anyway, so ran out of food, water, and but there were lots of crayfish, and so I was eating lots of crayfish. But I think when I got to my 34th one, or I finished my 33rd one. Now I don't actually know if it was 33, but I think it was pretty close because we were eating them every meal almost. Because we, after 12 days, we ran out of breakfast cereal. Because the night before we left, we had all of because we were carrying on this boat and they were a bit, I think they sent us some message or something, or my friend spoke to them and she said, "Oh, you don't have much gear, do you? Because we're expecting a lot of people to come on the boat." And so we went, "Oh my goodness." So we tried to reduce our food, and we reduced our food. We just halved it all. So we ran out of food quite quickly. We also ran out of water too, because we took enough for a couple of weeks and a little bit extra, but we were there for 4 or longer than 4. Anyway, so they didn't come pick us up. So if they didn't come pick us up, we had to eat. Now, on this island, there were also chickens. So someone had left chickens. There used to be cats as well. Although I think that was a different time. There used to be goats at another time too. There were so many goats on these islands, and the goats would climb up the trees and eat the greens, that you could literally look right, because the islands are quite dense with the Pisonia bush and sheax, right? But because the goats would eat the first metre and a half, you could literally look straight through the island, just see the tree trunks, but you could see right through the other side because there was no brush or no leaves underneath. But anyway, that was another story. I don't know. I didn't clean out the goats. That would have been a fun job to do. If there were goats, I would have been shooting the goats too. But at my time, there was that's right. There was a plague of mice, and there were lots of feral chickens. And so, well, chickens. That's great. So I was running around like a mad person with a spear gun loaded, and you know what a pranger head is? A pranger head is like a 5 or 6 prong that are about 8 inches, and so it's just like barbs on the end. So it's just like that. And so that was on the end of the spear. And what I did, I spread them out a bit so they had more of an area. And I was just running around this island and shooting the chickens. But they're pretty quick. I don't know, and people don't know this, but chickens, they can actually they can sort of fly. Because if you run at them fast enough, and they run really fast, and there's a little bit of wind, they're smart. They run into the wind, they stick their wings out, and they can fly a good, 100 meters. And then once they're in the air, they don't send. I think they flapped a little bit. It's a long time ago, but they used to disappear, and I couldn't catch up to them. So I'd have to be stealthy and try and ambush them with a spear gun. Now, meanwhile, my friend that was also with us, he went a bit wacko. He was, he had medication to take, and he didn't have enough medication, and then he wasn't from Australia, and a lot of people we're brought up differently in Australia. I think we just don't really care if we live or die, and well, I know that's not entirely true. We're just a bit more, oh well, if it happens, it happens, and so we don't really fuss about, oh, there's a danger here. We just sort of deal with it. Well, he didn't deal with it that well, and he became really quiet, and he didn't really move from his bed. I think he had a swag, and anyway, so it was up to me to do all the hunting, which was fine by me because I used to devote every single waking hour to it because I enjoyed it so much. Anyway, so after I knocked off all the chickens that were not so wise to... I know this, you want to know about the story about the lobsters. Well, I'm giving you the whole story because the lobsters were the first 2 weeks. Well, it's probably more than 2 weeks. I can't really remember, but we had some food that was for 6 days, then we'd eat fish, and then we had a lot of crayfish. So after maybe 2.5 weeks, I'd eaten 33 crayfish, and that was enough. Well, not completely by myself. Shared with my friends, so but still, it's a lot of crayfish in a short period of time. And anyway, what was I up to in the story? Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I was after the chickens. So after I knocked off all the chickens that I could knock off on the running approach, ambushing it like Rambo, crazy Rambo style. Yeah, they were quite wise, and so then I had to devise diabolical traps with the spear rubber, and we had some fishing line, and I was setting some bait. I mean, I think we had wheat bix. We used to take wheat bix or oats, and had a few dregs of that in the bottom of the packet still, and so I'd set that up as bait, and create these traps with spear rubber. And so spear rubber, I'd stretch, say this amount of spear rubber, I'd stretch it like 10 feet. And I'd have like a loop on the end. It was my first traps are really basic. I would have learned a lot if YouTube was around in those days, and I could, design traps properly. But my first trap was just a hangman's noose sort of thing, just a slip knot. The trouble with a slip knot is if you put it on the ground like this, and you've got the rubber there, and then you've got, say, a sacrificial line here to me over the tree, and I've got a pair of pliers that are going to snip because it wasn't triggered by any like little piece of wood or anything like that, some kind of trigger mechanism. It was just triggered by me hiding in the bush with a pair of pliers, waiting for the chicken to peck with its head in the noose because I used to bowl it out and put the noose on the top of the bowl. So as it went down, I'd snip it, and then literally the rubber would obviously contract, and hopefully the noose would close on the chicken and send it into space. Well, more often than not, I realised it would actually flick past it because it wouldn't tighten at that spot. It would tighten instead of. So I was expecting it to tighten here. Would it tighten up here? And then I worked it out. That wasn't so good. But occasionally, when it did work, these poor chickens. Well, they weren't alive. They weren't happy, and they weren't alive after their ordeal. But they used to go. Not that they could, make noise, but it's just funny to hear as they fly off into space. They get shot 10 meters up in, not 10 meters, 10 feet into space. So that is part of the story. But that was, then I evolved the traps. I put in 2 stakes, and I had 2, like a Brummel splice. You know what a Brummel splice is? So I created a situation where it was like this. This is the loop. And so this was a much better trap because it actually constricted exactly on that area. So as the chook put its head in, I would snip the fishing line, and the rubber would contract, obviously, and it would literally close up on the chook's neck. So much so that it would pop it off. Shouldn't laugh about these sorts of things, but there you go, people. I wonder if I'm going to get censored from this. Bloody YouTube is getting stuck into me again. I'm getting more copyright at the moment. You know all those past videos before I joined Epidemic Sounds? I think my first 280 videos, I'm getting struck. So I'm getting no money for any of those videos. Well, that's not entirely true. When it gets to a certain popularity, then the copywriter who gave me the music for free, apparently, once it gets to a certain popularity, they go, oh, it's not for your use anymore, it's commercial, because it's super fine print. And then they dock you. So a lot of my videos before episode 280 or 290, whenever I got Epidemic, they're all copyright anyway. So that's the story about the lobsters. I know it sort of went out into the chickens. Sorry, you making comments? Sorry, guys. All right. Oh, Kevin gave me some money. Good on you, Kevin. Sorry for sticking my finger in a. Watching you makes people feel better about themselves. Hold it. Is that a hidden dig at me? They're going, oh, gee, look at this loser. Oh, yeah, I feel much better about myself. Is that what you mean? Who's that? Mitchy Green? Is that what you mean? So Mitchy Green has written, watching you makes people feel better about themselves. I think there's 2 ways of looking at that. I'm going to look at it the positive way. Actually, I'm not going to think about it too much. I'm going to take that as a nice compliment. No one explain it to me properly, please. Any good ganja around there? Well, there's a guy called Appio. Remember Appio? You know, the guy who's a bit of a crook that tried to fleece me for the petrol when I got struck by lightning. Well, he comes around. He tries to sell me cocaine and ganja. I imagine ganja is marijuana, right? It's a type of... I don't know anything about this. I'm not the drug taker in my family. I'm not. I don't know anything about drugs. But apparently let me look. He knows where to get it. Whether it's washed up and shore here or not, I don't know. But I guess there would be. I don't know. Rocks in the head don't need a weight belt to dive. No, if you do have rocks. Plucky go to Cuba. What's up, homie? Shark attack in San Andreas. As I said, I'm going to go try and meet that shark. Maybe we can say hello. If I had a fortune, I'd buy a catamaran again. Yeah. Sailing is long periods of boredom punctuated by moments of abject terror. It sounds like war. I have heard that same description about war. I wouldn't say terror. It's just, I mean, if you think it's terror, I don't think you ought to go sailing. I wouldn't say it's boring, because when you go sailing, you'd be surprised. Sailing to San Andreas takes it's only 2 days, but in a day, the first time I look at my, say, phone, because sometimes I listen to audiobooks. I like the Dune series. You know Dune, Frank Herbert. Anyone into that? Friggin' great. Actually, I'm reading a book called, there's a Russian author about, anyone heard of Jordan Peterson? Jordan Peterson recommended this book. It's called A Day in the Life of, it's Solzhenitsyn. That's Alexander Solzhenitsyn. He's a writer. It's just, don't write in and say I'm a commie bastard because I'm reading a book that's based in Russia. This guy was a prisoner in the Gulag system. So it's just interesting to hear all the rubbish and the crap that they used to deal with, and starving, freezing, working themselves to death, working these prisoners to death. So anyway, Jordan Peterson, he recommended reading it, and so I'm starting to read it. If you haven't heard of Jordan Peterson, you should really pay attention to him. This guy is switched on. He knows what's going on. If people were listening more to him, we wouldn't be stuffed up with this COVID rubbish right now. What do we got here? Cubic TNA. All right, sorry, I'm just going through this. You need a new girlfriend and boat. Yes, thanks, Smoggers Board. Top stuff. Santa Claus, though, I wrote to Santa, and the bag that he holds, it's not big enough for a girlfriend nor a boat. I mean, if you can't get a girl in the bag, well, he's not going to get a boat. Well, he can give me a toy boat. But anyway. Sorry, I'm just going through. Okay, Luke Della Bona. Yeah, I know, exactly right. But I'm stuck. I'm stuck because I didn't have a sale and I didn't have a furler, and then there was COVID. So yeah, I understand. I understand the videos are too similar. So what I'm thinking is, well, I need 4 editors anyway. I need 2 editors on the day-to-day stuff, and I need 2 editors on the overall picture of longer stories. And go sailing to places. But so I need 4 editors on this boat. Anyway, but thank you for chiming in. Get some TNA and more booze. Okay. Hold up, sorry guys. Am I getting bored? Okay. Sorry guys. Alright, sorry, I'm just trying to get through. Jesus, there's a lot of comments. Yeah, okay, so people have sort of answered my questions. Yeah, okay. All right, so yes, new locations hopefully over the next few months, hopefully new crew, but the most that we can get in this boat really is 2, and really 2 is pushing it, because we have to have 1 person actually sleeping on this couch where I'm sitting right now. Let me just consult the this. So what have I been doing? Well, I've just been madly doing videos. Now, I think it's wrong to do all these videos. Number one, I'm trying to just go through the videos because we've got all the videos prepared by the girls for starters, right? So they've already done 10 to 12 hours on the videos, well, maybe 5 to 10 hours on each of the videos. So I'm trying to get through that. Otherwise, we're getting further and further outside the timeline. So there's that reason. I was answering people saying, okay, they wanted to see more day-to-day life. So that's why, but I think I've gone overboard with that. So anyway, so what have I been doing? So I've been doing videos. And the trouble with doing too many videos is I'm neglecting you guys and my patrons and my PayPalers. And that's not a good thing. And that's why I think I'm tanking in the support side. But I keep on thinking the more content I get, the more subscribers, and we've been going almost up to 2,000 a month. So anyway, with what I've got, I'm trying the best with what I got. But yes, sailing to new destinations is definitely going to be a winner. So yes, I will be doing that. Unless something happens on the way to Sandra. I'm not going to, nothing's going to happen. We're going to have a pleasant sail. It's going to be wonderful. You'll be fine. So I'm actually waiting for a weather window to leave. I've got a lot of east up my sleeve, and so we're going. So people have just come in. I finally got a sail. My jib's arrived. Well, it will be arriving in San Andreas. The good Captain Rick Moore is getting it sent to him. He's a good bloke. He offered for me to use his name in the postage, and so he's going to collect it for me. And so now we're actually mobile. So I've been waiting a year for this, and for the 5 months before that, I was waiting for a furlough. So I've been stuck. We're not a channel that can actually just buy gear as if like water, okay? But we're not like the other channels, okay? We got probably we've got great support from you guys, but it's certainly not much support from sponsors. I've written to a lot of sponsors, and well, it doesn't usually end well. And we're very, very low on the ratio with our support. Now, I'm not saying we give money or anything like that. I'm just saying we're sort of stuck. And when you're stuck, you have to save up. We can't just sort of buy gear, okay? So there you go. That explains that. All right, hello, just looking at this. Okay, here's a question for people. What would you say? Oh, sorry, I keep on using the wrong finger. What would you? I think the recipe for the most successful sailing vlog, because I want to get there. I mean, I don't think it's going to be the most popular. I'll never be the most popular. I understand that. No one understands my humor and wants to hear my voice. I get that. I understand that. So, but I do think we can be the best sailing vlog. I think the recipe is a big boat, bigger boat than this. Lots of crew and activity. So, I'm not talking about a bigger boat as Expedition Drenched, because ultimately, I mean, I think if I had a boat like Expedition Drenched, I'd run it a bit differently, and well, a lot differently, and I think it'd be we'd be peaking it as much as a Sailing into Freedom crowd could peak it, or Sailing into Freedom genre could peak it. But we don't have that boat. It's a very big boat. There's lots of people going on. But I think the recipe is, now please chime in, I'm thinking big boat, lots of crew, lots of editors, lots of stories going around, lots of interactions, males and females, and you get to see the crew evolve. Plus, you sail places because you're in a big boat. You can, well, you've got bigger budget, you've got more people to help you sail, and you can go to more places, and there's more activities. So I think, in my mind, the that would be the most successful Sailing into Freedom could be. Anyone want to chime in? What else? What else? Now people are saying TNA. Well, of course, that's going to get, you know, triple the views just on the thumbnails, and that is great for an injection with the advertising for sure. But not necessarily. I think it'd be better just to be, for example, look at Dallas. Now, I've mentioned this before. I met Dallas. Dallas are wonderful. Brian and Kaz. Great people. They're still getting lots and lots of views, and there's very little TNA in that. I mean, Karen's very beautiful, but they don't exploit her in any way. They just show you sailing, and they're still getting, you know, hundreds of thousands a hit a video. So there's that. in argument against the TNA. So what do you think? What do you think, people? Do you think that's the ultimate way to go? Yeah. Well, the Pacific. Go home, Plucky. Patrick, yeah. Well, I might have to go home. I'm thinking, well, there might have to be a big radical change. I'm just going. Hook up with the Danish chick called Itchy Boots. Well, there's a guy that was also commenting tonight, Trip on Two Wheels. He he wanted me to hook up with her. Apparently, she was in Panama and she wanted to get her bike over to Colombia. I mean, that would have been an interesting trip. We could have stuck her bike on the mast. I've seen that happen. I think Captain Rick Moore did it. I think but his was more of a scooter. Yeah, I heard about her. Unfortunately, yeah, that train is. Did you say that train is left? Don't forget to smile. Yeah, keep doing the GG Clara style vlogs. Yeah, thanks, Stormer. Yeah, I was reading all of the comments before, but I think we've gone overboard on it, and I'm showing too much. And there needs to be overall story, and obviously sailing to places. As I said, we're now sort of equipped to actually sail places, okay? So thank you for your patience, people. I know people want to go to destinations, but boats don't magically go from A to B. You do need sails, and you do need the boat ready to go sailing, okay? So you need to have, and because I'm single-handed, I needed the furler. And well, it's just going to be safer. I mean, anyway, yes, I could have hanked on and be perfectly safe. Okay, a learning channel. Someone says, how about a topic each channel? Yeah, like what James is doing. He's doing packing up ropes and tying ropes, and yeah. Patrick says, go home, Plucky again. What did Melinda say? Love your videos. Lisa's style was great. And I'm. Okay, good on you, Melinda. Thank you for that. Australia awaits. Gilligan's Island. Yeah, well, it was good teaming up with regards to collaborations. Well, you can only collaborate when people are around your area or if they actually want to do it. We have had some other people that didn't want to collaborate with us. There's no need to mention names. I mean, we're not. My understanding is when other channels didn't want to associate with us is they didn't want to hurt their audience. There you go. There's yeah, there's a bit of criticism, I think. Yes, Lisa will be coming back. Am I after another longer term relationship? I have a I have the longest relationship here. The relationship with myself. Yes. In order to have a long relationship, you need to have a short relationship first that then grows into a longer relationship. Who would have thought? And usually you need a few of those short ones because a few of those are duds. Well, a couple of them are duds, and you need to work out the duds and go, oh, well, you're a dud. Not that they're a dud, and I don't mean it that harshly, people, but they are a dud. You know, being harsh. Okay, I am being harsh, but yes. And so then they develop into long. Yes, it would be much better, but well, I'm trying. The word's out. I'm not getting too many comments. People wanting to come on my boat, unfortunately. How about a learn to sail video with the next crew? Russell Coit style is good. There's another Australian. What did Don Curbin say? Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. Hi, Plucky from Ontario. How you going, Ontario? What's happening with the truckers? Did they just get kicked away by the police? Like, I don't want to incite any protests or anything like this, people, but you Canadians, I think, were the only people on the verge of doing something sensible, and then it got destroyed. People unite. This is crazy. This is crazy what's happening. If I was in Australia, I'd be in jail now. There's no doubt about it. There is no doubt about I'd be in jail because I would have said something and I would have been in a protest and I wouldn't have given up and I'd be in jail. But they can't lock 100,000 people up in jail. And if you're all good-natured and you're doing a protest and it's peaceful protest, they can't do anything about it. And anyway, I'm disgusted with the world. Did I tell you? If aliens came down and said, "Are you a member of the human race?" I would say no. Because, number one, I'm ashamed. So, shame on us all, people. We've become a fearful, disgusting race. I don't want to go into it. I'm getting upset. I'm getting emotional. Shouldn't get emotional. But that's what's happening. Just unbelievable. We're just like lambs to the slaughter because we're so bloody fearful. Anyway, let's not go into that. That's enough of that. When is Galatea coming? She'll be coming. La Vag has now become a sales channel. Well, I don't know. I don't watch it. I don't watch any channel. I hate watching my channel. I have to watch it 10 times each just to make sure the editing is right. Okay, yes, DC. I'm supposed to meet James in Cuba. I can't go to Cuba. It's too far west. James is, I think, heading up to the States again, so it's on his way. And that's why, and I did want to go there because I love Cuba, and it's fun being with James. I couldn't get crew, number one, to come to Cuba. No one wanted to go. And so, well, everyone likes the Eastern Caribbean, so I'm going to have to go there. I can't quite do the Pacific yet because it's a big... See, the Caribbean is like a big lake. You know, if something goes wrong, I'm eventually going to get to the other side. But the Pacific, it's a real big lake. Like it's an ocean. And it's going to take a long time for me to drift to the other side if something goes wrong. So there's still a few things to be done. So that's right. Hey, Florida. Someone wrote, ad blocker works great. Yeah, it works great, but, you know, ultimately it hurts me. So good on you, Joe. Joe, bag of donuts. Hello. So I'm just reading the... Anyone got any more... Parlay and Delos are two of my favorites from Just Kidding. Yes. Yeah, see, Parlay and Uma, please tell me the appeal. I mean, I'm not criticizing. I mean, I think Uma, she's very cute, and they're doing lots of how-to videos, and well, I don't really know too much, but they're going great guns. And Parlay, because of his recent, well, because he's got the niche of fixing up catamarans, and everyone wants to be on a catamaran. I mean, for example, if my channel, if I was on a catamaran still, I'd be on 250,000. Because it's catamaran, it's sexier, it's gonna appeal to more people because ultimately people want to be on catamarans. But we don't have a catamaran anymore, so well, that's a bit of a bugger. Jesus, there's a lot of comments. Parlays in the Pacific. Yeah, I just spoke to Colin actually. He said, "Oh, Plucky, you got a video?" Oh, we were filming, so we're doing still collaborations, and he asked for a video that I don't know, they lost or I never gave to them. Who knows? I thought I gave it to them, but so he's actually featuring me on his channel. So good on Colin. Yeah, he's in the Pacific. I know that. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So who agrees with my analysis with bigger boat, more crew, more editors, more stories, more interactions, more nitty-gritty of life, but not every episode. Overall storyline, so another editor on that or another 2 editors on that, and then sailing to destinations. And so that's probably on the overall story. So ultimately, I think for sailing into freedom to be the best success we can be, or the best we can be, we're never going to be a Delos, we'll never be Parlay, we'll be our little niche, but the best we can get, I think, is more crew, more interactions, and at least 4 editors, lots more cameras, and probably we have powwows. Do you call them powwows, or is that not politically correct? I don't know, people. Everyone, bugger this political correction. Jesus. Don't get me started on Marxist postmodernism, people. Don't get me started. I don't want to get abusive about the fear, in similar vein to the fear, everyone fearing anything, but don't get me started. Okay. So, as I was saying, who thinks that's the right way to go? I think that's the right way to go. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. Some people are saying, yeah, go back to Australia and start working again. I might actually just have to do that. Here's a question for you. How long do you think I could not do videos for people to still get retained as an audience? So if I went back to work for, say, 2 years, would I still have an audience when I got back, or would I have to start again? So give me your advice on that, people. I mean, would you see me again and go, oh, yeah, it's him, I'm coming back? I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking anything approximating over 6 months, and we're toasted. So, anyway, if you've got any opinions, I'm going to have to probably read all these comments afterwards. Hello. Oh, someone wrote, Parlay's cameraman sucked. He finally seen that. The dizzy back and forth will be better than now. Well, look, I do that all the time. My backwards and forwards with my GoPro 9. So, well, sorry about that, Lily Lynn. I thought the guy was good, but, I didn't live on the boat, so. Doodles lost me with the maybe fake boat wreck thing, and then ends up on a Hatteras. Yeah, I know. Plucky's best work, the Italian girls. Well, really, it was the best work. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Doodles. I have heard stories, though. If you can't say anything good about anyone, don't say anything at all. I haven't heard that much about it. Hello. Okay, sorry guys, just trying to get. We got any more topics of discussion? It was basically. So the reason why I actually had a Patreon chat just before, but only 2 people showed up to listen. well, 3, but 1 ignored me when I tried to find out their name. And so, I mean, I should have actually left for San Andreas already, but wasn't quite. We had a bit of lightning and thunder today, and I didn't want to go through that for the first, 80 miles. For the obvious reasons, people. So I think Tuesday's best. So I'm just waiting for that. I also had to get some water up the river. Oh no! Plucky got water up the river? No doctors write in, please. Please don't write in. It's okay to drink river water. My God, people, don't be scared of everything. Lisa was the best. Lisa was pretty good. But Gigi and Clara turned out okay. I was actually advised not to have Clara on. But I was desperate. And I needed a second person because I didn't want Gigi to be alone like Lisa. Lisa actually liked it. Lisa thrived on the fact that it was just me and her. If there was someone else with Lisa on the boat, it wouldn't have been as good, believe it or not. So that was a good thing. I mean, Lisa was interesting in that way. But when Gigi was set in stone, and I had another person. And the other person, I think they cancelled like a week before, and they didn't even cancel. I rang them up and I said, are you coming? And they go, oh no, I've broken my leg. And I went, Well, when were you going to tell me that you broke your leg so I could organise another crew? This is the type of people you have to deal with now. People have no sense of responsibility, no sense of fairness, no sense of doing the right thing. What my uncle used to say, you've got to do the RT. You've got to do the right thing. No one has any idea. Of course, my audience has the right idea because you're all the older group. We're all much older. And so you guys, but the new people, the crew, very few people know what the right thing is. It's crazy. I don't know what we're breeding in this world. I don't know. Okay. I just read your comment, Ted. I'm not going to read it out, but yes, you're right. All right, let's have a look. What's the cost of living per month in the sea? Well, it depends on how many things that break. My food bill's pretty small. Um, so, I mean, well, if you watch the Exile series, I think we got away with $1 and a bit a day. But, well, that didn't include fuel, or did it? I can't. No, well, I don't know. Get a haircut and clean your boat. Yeah, thanks, Scott. Yes, it does need a clean. Oh yeah, now you know the bimini. Sorry, the is it the bimini? Yeah, the bimini at the back. You know how it's got the stains on it? That's not mold, and I can't get them out. Do you know what? So it's actually on the underside of it. On the upper side of it, it's clean. What I figured it to be is when the lightning hit the mast, it vaporized all the metal, and I think mainly because you know the most of the metal came from, well, no, it vaporized all the metal up there and burnt it, and it cascaded down and it landed on it. And what happened is, for example, any stainless steel up there, stainless steel does rust, especially when you have 50,000 amps go through it and it burns. And so what happens is it turns basically into iron, and iron is a cationic acid which rusts, and they are rust stains, and they're probably going to put holes in it. Now, I've put oxalic on it, I can't get it off. So it's not dirt, it's stained from the blown up mast, okay? So yes, it is ugly and unsightly, but, well, I've actually removed it because I'm sewing it by hand. Some guy, Mike McCarthy, said, I would watch you clip your toenails. So do what you want and we will watch. Yeah, we're not going to, I'm going to draw the line at that. I'm high right now. God made weed for me to smoke. Okay, good on you, Johnny Appleseed. June was a great set of books. Yes, it was. Did I talk about it? Hit the like button? Yeah, hit the like button, people. You know the Russian rider? Yes, clean the boat. It's your stage. Yes, the boat. The boat also has too much gear in it and not enough space to put the gear. That's a part of the problem. Vegans even watch this channel. Yeah, possibly. All right, sorry. You've got, how's the leak? The leak is less. People, I've done some repairs. Get patrons on the boat, Matt says. Well, yeah. Patrons, who wants to come on the boat? Well, maybe if I get to the East Caribbean. The trouble is, if I get patrons on, I'm not going to have the female sort of side because hardly any my patrons are females. So I don't know how that's going to pan out with the thing. With just me or males on the boat, least watch episodes was when I had males on the boat when we sailed down from Guatemala. I mean, they were the lowest of the low, like literally. The channel won't survive on that. It just won't. There has to be girls on the thumbnails because the views go up at least 50%, and that is what just keeps us going, okay? So, what about an inflatable girlfriend? Not enough room, really. Even if you pack her away. That blank stare, sorry people, yeah, I know. Because I'm trying to get your opinions. Yeah, okay, we've got another clean the boat up. Yes, okay, gotcha. Do I run a GoFundMe? No. How about taking on some trans girl for a cruise? Interesting. Just keep doing what you're doing. I can't keep on doing what I'm doing because we will tank people. Yeah. I think ultimately we try and get well, anyway, I've said what I think is the most successful sailing into freedom. Tell me what you think. You can make a comment. You could send a thoughtful comment to sailingintofreedom.com on that website. You can contact me. Send me whatever you think. Give me advice. Tell me what you think is a good idea. And I'll listen to you, definitely. Oh, we got a few donations. Good on you guys. Wow, there's lots of comments. Why is it? Okay. Sorry, people. Wow, there's just so many comments. Good on you, people. Yeah, the humour between me and the crew. We had a lot of criticisms with me talking too much, but I explained the 30-70 rule, didn't I? Just to give it to you again. Even extroverted girls coming onto a boat in different surroundings on a sailing boat of all places, people clam up. They don't actually talk. If I'm not constantly fishing or keeping the conversation going, yes, 70% of the time, it's a fail. But you need to do that to get the 30% that comes through. And it's the 30% I try to grab out. So even the most extroverted girls don't usually talk that much. They might talk a little bit and then they just peter out. Like Lisa. Everyone loved Lisa. But if I wasn't constantly trying to prod her or say things that were a little, that she'd bite on, that had a little barb on it, there wouldn't have been the vlog. There wouldn't have been any of the humour. So if you like that humour, that's good. If you don't like my voice, well, tough. Go watch some other stuff. Miss Anna, yes, I think about Miss Anna a lot. I loved her spontaneous laugh. I don't know, anyone watches James Ingaro? If you don't, check it out. I've watched only a few episodes. I don't have usually internet to watch people's episodes. It's not that I don't like their channel. It's just that I just don't have the time, literally. But Anna just has this spontaneous blah, and it just bubbles out, and she's always smiling and bubbly. She's a remarkable woman. She is. Anyway. What have we got? I tell you, brother. I should have been a politician. I think that's who's wrote E. Warden. That sounds Swedish or Norwegian. You think I should have been a politician? Well, if I was, I would have put a bullet in my head. Ta-da! You know what? The first question. I mean, if we really think about it, if we really want people to lead us in a country, the very first question should be, do you want to be a politician? And if they say no, they go to the next level and they can perhaps become a politician. But anyone that says yes, castrate them, throw them in jail. Get rid of them because they're there for the wrong reasons. We need the people that don't want to be politicians. I don't want to be a politician, and I really don't want to be a politician. Not to say that I don't want to be it, to be it, okay? Yeah, so, no, definitely not. Yeah, that's what I'm suspecting. We've got 30,000 people. The true fans are about 4,000 to 5,000. They're the absolute true fans. They, if I was on fire and they were walking past, they'd piss on me to extinguish the flames. I got about 4,000, possibly 5,000 those. Then that increases to 30,000 that people like you know, just the vibe of the show and the humor. From me reading the comments, I'm not trying to, you know, big note myself or blow my own trumpet. But most of those, if I was on fire and they walked past me, they wouldn't piss on me. That's okay. 4,000's good. But they like the interaction, although, you know, it's me in it, but they like the girls and they like the interaction, but there's still me in it. So we've got those 30,000. The rest, they've just forgotten to unsubscribe, people. Sad state of affairs. Yeah, a hurricane damaged catamaran. The trouble is the catamarans that you get damaged are absolute rubbish. And it's not because they're rubbish because they were damaged by the hurricane. They were damaged because they were made in a damaged way. Most catamarans are not worthy. Please get it through your head, people. Do not buy the majority of production catamarans now. You will kill yourself, all right? Unless you're going to hang in Sandblast or the Caribbean or the Mediterranean, where you're not going to sort of venture out too much. Yes, people do sail. Yes, Gone with the Winds are sailing. But there's going to be a time where they're going to be shitting bricks. And they're very, very careful with their sailing, okay? Don't put yourself in that situation. They're not worth anything. They are rubbish, okay? I'm not going to go naming names, but you all know what I'm saying, okay? People think they're going to get away with it. Yes, they have lots of freezer space, lots of headroom, lots of this, and they weigh like unbelievable. Any catamaran over, well, let's just say a 45-foot catamaran. Any 45-foot catamaran that's over 9 ton is a recipe for disaster. And it should be about 7 ton. End of story. And none are like that. Trudeau stamped on them. Yeah, well, that Trudeau guy, I don't know. You Canadians, you need to do something about it. We're looking to you. For some reason, everyone else is browbeaten and kicked to the curb. You guys, you were almost there. Follow it through. Geeko Man, you could use a steel boat. Yeah, it's a lot of maintenance on a steel boat. Yeah, Sam Holmes. Yeah, I've heard about Sam Holmes. I think he's a different type of personality than me. I think he's less annoying than me, and that's why people like him. And he's very endearing, and he's the boy next door. He's American too, and I haven't watched much of his channel, but I've heard about it, and he's doing great guns, and good on him. You know, he's sailing alone out whoop whoop. So good on him. Okay, he's done a great thing. Why does this keep on flicking up to the top? Does it keep on flicking up to the top? How do I go to the bottom? Okay, sorry people for my fish-eyed expression. Yeah, the minimalism. Yeah, so what I was saying, yeah, Sam Holmes. So whatever he's doing, I need to do. But I think it's because of his personality and, yeah, just who he is. And he's very likable, isn't he? Whereas I tend to rub people up the wrong way because I like the having the humor. And yes, remember the 70-30 rule? Well, the 70% really pisses a lot of people off. So, well, you can't help it. I mean, I like to have a light boat. I like to have some conversation. I like there to be witty repertoire. Well, sailing into freedom wittiness, which may not be like humorous, but it's quirky. I think we're probably more quirky than humorous. Maybe you like the quirkiness. Anyway, something over 40 foot. Well, this boat is 42 feet, but it's actually a small 42 feet. It's got the room of a 36 footer. I was on a, what was it? Was it a 39 foot or 36 foot boat? It had more room than this boat. It was crazy. Just keep doing what you're doing. No, I can't. Thanks, Kevin. Sam Home is just real, just like you. and he's got a perfect smile. Well, see, I don't know if I have a perfect smile. I've got an overbite, and I've got missing teeth. Yeah. And then I've got this, and then I got this. Only a mother could love, people. But you know, well, there you go. I didn't know he had the perfect smile. Maybe I need to get some dental work. Who would have thought? You Americans, you're so into your teeth and dental work. Me, the last time I had dental work, I had a tooth pulled out. That was in San Andreas, remember? I didn't take painkillers. Oh, baby. You got to learn from pain, people. If you get a headache, don't have to take headache tablets. You got to learn from it. You got to go, what did you do to get the headache? And people going, well, it's just random. You get headaches. No, there's usually a reason. You got to learn. You can't just go to a pill to solve your problem. You just can't do that. You got to learn from your pain. That's the important thing. And when you learn from the pain, you learn something. Otherwise, you don't learn anything. You learn how to one of those little packets and pull out a pill, and which is stuffing up your liver and your kidneys. Anyway, stay true to yourself, and you will not veer from life's course. How poetic is that? You ought to write, like, what do you call them? Christmas cards. Your humor and normal attitude makes you a likable guy. Oh, thank you, Brad Zuzu. All right. Yeah, I saw the Warrams. I did have an idea. Here's a boat that I could afford, because basically anyone could afford this. I could build a Warram. I could design some kind of process where I get bamboo, because bamboo is very, very strong. So I invent a machine that shreds it, and I weave it into its own glass, or sorry, into its own mat, compress it, inject epoxy into it, compress it, so like vacuum bag it, make like sheets of it, and then make a Warram. Now there's an idea. It won't cost anything. Like, for example, the Mumby that I had an idea about a few months back. That's like $40,000. Well, probably more because the price is going up. But of aluminium, but bamboo is like cheap. I mean, I could find some island in Asia that's got like a bamboo plantation just down the road. I could just walk every morning and just sort of carry back like 10. I could hire a panda. Mind you, I couldn't, because he'd probably eat most of it. No, I'm not. Scrub that idea. I'm not going to hire a panda. But you could shred it and then mat it and then make a boat out of it, because it'd be very, very strong. And it's natural. So I don't know. What do you think? I mean, it's a crazy idea. I mean, people would probably watch that going, this guy's crazy. It's more like a Kentucky idea, where people are going, oh no, this guy's going to die. Well, I'm going to watch. So, and maybe I will die. But, I mean, what do I make the mast out of? Like a big bunch of bamboos? Don't be like Sam Holmes, says Melinda. You have more personality and you respond and interact with your viewers. Yeah, the trouble is he went from nothing to like hundreds of thousands. He gets hundreds of thousands of views, and I'm on barely. If it's just me, I struggle to get 20,000 views. So he's doing something right, and I'm doing lots wrong. So this is a chat to work out what I'm doing wrong. That's all. Hi from Portugal, Mag Jojo. What is your dream boat, Plucky, or second best? Well, there's no point in dreaming, because it's not going to happen. But what do you reckon of the bamboo catamaran idea, people? Oh, it'd be a catamaran too. I'll let someone write here. Jordan Peterson, really? You should actually, yeah, don't, anyway, let's not get into an argument over that. Yes, Solzhenitsyn is a very good author. Good story. I want to read the Gulag Archipelago. It goes right through communism and right through the Gulag system. Don't write in and say I'm a commie. It's interesting. You got to know what's gone wrong in the 20th century, because you don't know what's getting pushed out there. All these Marxist views on the left, you know, all this transgender rubbish, all under the guise of being empathetic to these people, and really they're undermining our rights, and we're in trouble, and you don't understand. But anyway, sorry, I'm not directing that to all the viewers, I'm directing it just to one person that wrote in. Ever seen a fiberglass fishing trawler? They're all steel for a reason. Yeah, because they're quite rough with them, aren't they? You know, if they're getting crab pots on, they just smash them on and they don't really care, because it has to be strong, whereas sailing boats are more pretty. Best caveman out there. Yeah, that's basic. Don't forget my funny accent. Are you saving any money? To tell you the truth, I'm trying to save some money as we speak. But you don't really save your money on YouTube, not at our level, not on my level. It might be I have to go back to Australia, people, and get a job. Only a geeko mother. I don't know who David Bond is. You like my spearfishing videos? Yeah, but Troy, hardly anyone does. 2.5% of my audience like. Someone said crowdfund a cat. There's an ocean of money out there. People are following, crowd equals more followers. Yeah, I don't think we're at that stage. We're more of the poorer channel. Supporters are more poorer because the boat's not a flashy boat. People watch my vlog, go, oh, this guy's, nothing works on this guy's boat. Plucky's boat, hardly anything works. It's falling apart. He did the rigging himself out of Dyneema. I can relate to this because, I don't have much money. When I retire, I'm only going to have $10,000 or $5,000 to buy a boat. And this guy seems to do it. He spearfishes, he keeps everything minimalistic. So that's my audience, people. I mean, if I still had the catamaran, it'd be a different thing. We'd be a couple of 100,000, no dramas, because we would have had lots of audience. But we don't, and there's a bit of a leap, so I'm sort of stuck. I'm stuck here. But that's okay. I'm still out here. There's still wonderful Well, the good thing about it is, when you're on a boat that's actually not that expensive, and it's. I mean, I went on a catamaran once, and they invited me on board, and no joke, the woman of the catamaran followed me round with a moist cloth, and she wiped up my footprints as I walked through her boat. Now, that boat didn't move. It came, it stayed in one spot and left. That was it. They never go to any interesting places. They don't tuck in reefs and go in behind an island. There's a tiny little gap, and you might have to set 2 anchors. And so there's a good thing. Like, for example, the places when we got stuck out in exile, there's no way in the world a catamaran would have been out there in some places. Just to meander through and get through these places. And also the fact is a big thing, and any fisherman that comes up and goes, oh, here's some money. And they just try and rob them, of course. So there's an advantage to having a boat like mine. But we've got the audience as well, like that. So, yeah, I don't think you could be a politician. I'm too honest. Yeah, and also I would have put a bullet in my head if I had to do that job. Remember that? About your politicians. Only politicians you need are the ones that don't want to be a politician. The ones that have to reluctantly do it. I don't know what's happening to these comments. They keep on scrolling up to the front. Sorry, people. I'm sorry to look like a goose. Wow. Yeah, here's another thing. You know what I could have done? You know, remember Giancarlo and his, I think it was a Lagoon 44? Yes, I'm not going to make any comment, but I could have gone on his boat, and I think he would have liked me to come on his boat. So, I'll let someone just send me a message. And so that would have been interesting. So, here's another thing. I think, was it Taylor? Taylor used to be with Oodles and Doodles. Didn't she go around to lots of people's boats? The only trouble is you're not the captain of your boat and you don't decide on the destination. And because I'm interested in certain sorts of things, I did notice that when I've met up with other sailing channels that they do things differently than I do. I tend to use way more of the day. The trouble is I get up so early, you know, as I said, I usually only sleep a few hours and it's getting worse and worse, people. I'm usually up between 2:30 and 4:30 a.m. So what boat owner out there could put up with that? Unless it was a catamaran and I had my own room and I could get up and I could do the editing from say 2:30 to, well, I don't usually see people until 8 or 9. So I'd do editing there until then, or I'd sneak out, say at sunup, and go do some spearfishing or kite surfing or whatever. So it would be difficult to be on someone else's boat. So the problem with that is I really have to play to their tune, which would be very frustrating because it'd just be me hanging around all the time, waiting for something to happen. Otherwise, I'd be too much of an annoying person, but always, you know, wanting to do stuff and people wanting to chill more. So that's the problem with that idea. But, you know, it's a possibility. I mean, maybe I could do it 2 weeks at a time and maybe that would grow the channel. I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't deliver boats because I'm not a qualified captain. And also, I've already wrecked one boat. So my credentials are not good. Yeah, Taylor's Travels hooked up with everyone except me. Actually, me and James. I think James asked her to come on his boat, and I'm not sure if she said no or she just couldn't do it. But I think James said to me, he goes, "Hey, Plucky, why don't you ask Taylor to come on your boat?" There's no way in the world people are only going to come on my boat that haven't been on another boat. Because even my crew, when we went to James to visit, they go, "Really? This is what it's supposed to be like?" So there you go. Taylor is expecting a baby soon. Well, I don't know. I never met her. I don't even know what she looks like. Someone said, "Paul Chopin or Chapin, you have too many stupid subs. I don't know how to fix that." Well, most of them don't watch, so they fix it themselves. And the fact that they leave their subs there is, you know, gives a false impression and probably attracts more people, really. So we should thank them for their stupidity. What about, I can't deliver yachts, I could help crew and then get paid nothing. But if there is a huge pandemic or nuclear war or any of that, I can accept, I think, at maximum 3 other people. So whoever gets 3 people gets here first, we'll sail off, and we'll survive. Don't you worry, we'll survive. And yes, people, we're going to drink water from up the river. Oh no, Pluggy! Don't drink water from up the river! Oh my God, people. My goodness. Keep it classy. Plucky, you're more intelligent than James. I don't know. It was Anna that got James off the ground. Which Anna? The psychologist or Anna? The one with the spontaneous laugh. Sorry, spontaneous. Ever since watching Robin Williams in Happy Feet, when he goes spontaneous, I can't help it. I love spontaneous. You want to be one of the three, all right? How do you look in a bikini? Oh, you do have to be female too. Did I mention that? Murray. Murray hopefully has procreated many. He'd be dead by now for sure. God, if I could. Have you seen Live on the Hulls? No, I haven't. Okay, sorry for reading so much. Maybe I'll check the. Gee, there's so many comments. Thank you for people for turning up and showing up on this impromptu thing. I didn't even give you any warning. I didn't give any of my Patreon chat group people. Only 2 people showed up. Good on you, Rob. I hope you're still watching. So bamboo cat project would be very cool. Yeah, well, anyway, I'll think about it. I don't know. Any engineers out there? Anyone see any problems? I mean, what's the moisture content in bamboo? And if you glass it up, will it rot? Is it high moisture content? I mean, I know you can get desiccated bamboo, you know, when it goes grayer, but it becomes quite brittle then. So do you need the moisture in it? So there's lots of things to know about it. I know they use it for scaffolding in Asian countries, and it's excellent. So I mean, there's a possibility right there. Don't know how light it'd be, because that's the thing. You need to shred it pretty fine into like glass, and then you know how fiberglass is tiny thin strands of glass. And the reason why they do it like that is when you, for example, if you vacuum bag it, especially over foam, you actually compress the epoxy and you extract it out. It oozes out in the vacuum bagging process, and it gets the perfect ratio, well, provided you get it wet enough, of the fiberglass to resin ratio. And that's actually, you want the least amount of resin possible, but to still wet it out. So, and that's very strong. The problem with my idea is you're not going to get the fine strands fine enough to do it. But it was just me thinking, what materials could I afford? What could we do? It would certainly be interesting. But the trouble is, I think it's bordering more on a gimmick. You know, people go, oh, this is crazy. Oh, I'm going to watch it anyway because he's going to die. But there's no point spending a year and a half building this, and then it's a gimmick and just to raise money. Number one, that's dishonest, and I don't want to do that. But you want to have a boat that's going to last. You know, you put the effort into it, you want it to last. So there's a problem with that. So anyway, these are just ideas. We're all sitting here as friends. Obviously, we've got 560 people watching, so we've got a good turnout from no thing. So good on you, people. Thank you for that. So what do we got? Gee, there's so many comments. Hold on, well, someone wrote something about glass fiber. Yeah, glass fiber. I know. I'm just trying to think outside the box. Who was that? Grim FPY. Yes, fiberglass is cheap, but I'm trying to think of. I mean, every man and his dog is building a boat or doing some construction program. Something has to be done that's different, you know, something that's interesting. I mean, I was speaking to Colin from Parlay Revival, and he was giving me advice on the channel, and there has to be something. You've got to have some niche, and he's got his niche, which is actually quite a big niche, and he's going great guns with it. And my niche is really just, well, kicked in the corner and the bottom of the rug, slid under the rug. That's my niche. But all right, what else we got? So it's got to be something new, something different. Bamboo as a foam combination sandwich. Yeah, but the trouble is with bamboo. All right, let me think about this. Well, it won't compress in itself. But if you had like, you're obviously talking in strands, right? Not the whole thing. Crazy hot redheaded. No, I can't have a redheaded person on the boat. Did Taylor, hold it, someone said a guy couldn't get away with what Taylor does, aka the GoFundMe thing. Did Taylor do a GoFundMe thing? Did she? Yeah, too many sailboat channels now. Build a submarine. Epoxy bamboo. They make floors out of it. Ah, okay. Who's that? Will Phelps. Hey, Will, can you send me? Do you have any links on it, or do you have any products? What it's called? The actual floor. You said they make floors out of that, the epoxy bamboo. Maybe they've perfected the process. Maybe I mean, if they've worked it out, there's no point thinking about it if they've done it. Taylor is up herself. Oh, don't say that. I don't know. Chuck a Yui, mate. Exactly. Someone said my Filipino wife says you must have bamboo chemically treated for it to be stable. Fair enough. Get 2 cheap ferro cement yachts and join them up like a catamaran. Okay, let me go into the fundamentals of catamaran. Catamarans have to be light. What do we know about ferro cement boats? They're very heavy. So yes, you could throw a couple of planks across, and in fact, they'd be very similar to some of the lagoons you get out there now, although less heavy. There's a joke there, people. Just making some light of the lagoons. Oh, if Lagoon wants to give me a boat and me sail around the world and tell everyone how good it is, don't bother. Yeah, a new or different chapter. There might have to be a radical change. There is Oriental stranded board. Taylor and Plucky don't match. Sail to Antarctica? Okay. All right. Anyway, so I'm glad you've all come here. We've got an hour and a half already. It seems like only 20 minutes. I'll go through all the comments. If you do have any sensible suggestions about direction and what you want to see on the blog and what to do, yes, I understand sailing and going to destinations, but I tried to explain we were stuck, or I was stuck because of lack of sail and furler and the world going crazy with COVID. But now we can break free, although it's just me. So how interesting that. Okay, I'm going to get 20,000 views per episode. Right, so that's not going to cut it. So yes, I will have to get crew in the Eastern Caribbean, but I can't get crew now to sail across because, well, you need to really sail with crew for a good 2 or 3 weeks so you know that they're okay for it. You can't just say, hey, meet me in Panama and I'll just let's go upwind for 2 weeks, smashing into the waves. I mean, they could possibly die. Yeah, so if you do have some sensible comments or you got ideas on something different, something that we could do, something we could build that would be cheap, something unusual, write it down. We might do it. We might go partners or whatever. So forget bamboo, you were clutching at straws. Yeah, bloody big straws, mate. Like that. There's a joke. All right. A good friend of mine built 60 bamboo epoxy composite replica of the SS America. No stringers, just planked and covered with glass and epoxy. She's still sailing. Alistair, can you send me a picture or any details or your friend's details, please, so I can have a chat to them? Okay, sorry guys, I'm reading again. Okay. Anyway, I think, look, thank you guys for putting up with my impromptu thing. Thank you for putting up with me staring like a goldfish at the thing. Thank you for Jeff and numerous other peoples that have sent in donations. Much appreciated. Thank you for your advice. Thank you for, being devil's advocate or being a sounding board. I don't know. What do you say? Thank you for being that. Write in if you have something sensible. Things got to change though. Got to do something different. We're at the end of our run. I can't keep on doing 3 videos a week. I'm going to be dead in like 3 months if I keep on doing it. Just not possible. So I'm doing it, trying to do the last burst. So I know I can say I did my all with what I had. I did all I could do with what I had, and then I'll be happy knowing, going back to work or whatever. So that's the reason for that. And yes, I am giving my all. So keep watching the videos. If you can, like them a little more. Just a little. Don't forget the dislike crowd. You know your job. And see you next episode. When's the next episode? Is it Sunday today? Did I release one tonight? Can't remember. Making too many mistakes, people. Barely sleeping. Can't remember anything. Anyway, good night, good people. I hope that wasn't too boring. It was a bit boring, wasn't it? Sorry about that. Maybe the lobster and the chicken story wasn't so bad. That was the highlight, maybe. Anyway, good night. I hope you have a good week. And I think we're going back to 3 videos a week because I put in a real special effort. And yeah, enjoy. Oh, I don't know how to get out of here. Oh, sorry. Enjoy.